It's gift giving time, y'all. Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. So a lot of us crocheters and knitters, we're always making things for other people, but what about us? We like gifts too, and that's what today's video is about. So if you are a knitter or a crocheter, perhaps you can send this to a friend or a family member to just kind of give them ideas on what to give you as a gift. Or perhaps you are a non-crafter and you want some ideas for the crocheter and knitter in your life. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I have my notes, and I want to first of all say that when it comes to giving gifts, it is something you can do all year round. You don't have to wait to give a gift to your favorite crocheter or knitter. We accept gifts all year round, okay? So also I will be leaving a link to everything that I talk about today, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so up first we have a gift card. So you could give a gift card to the person's favorite local yarn shop, or maybe their favorite big box crafting store. A gift card would be amazing. And I think it would be so easy to say, oh, I could just give them yarn. But let me tell you, from personal experience, us crafters can be a little picky on the yarn that we want. So it's really just better off to just give us a gift card. And perhaps you don't know their favorite local gift shop. You can give them an Etsy gift card, Amazon gift card, and that way they can just get what they want. And so also another thing too is perhaps you have a spinner in your life. So sometimes it's very difficult to understand all of the spinning terms, roving and batting and all that stuff. So it'll make it a lot easier on you if you just get a gift card to that person's favorite dyer or that person's favorite farm, or whoever sells fiber. That would just be really, really awesome. And so yeah, I think that would be wonderful. Also, you could do like a subscription box as well, and that way it's like, let's just say you don't really know much about their preferences, but you can get them a yarn or fiber subscription box, and basically those just come monthly, and then it'll be something nice and new for the crafter in your life each month. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. You can buy them a pattern from their favorite pattern site. There's a lot of sites out there, such as Ravelry. There's quite a few others, but basically you can say, hey, I would like to buy you one of your favorite patterns. So, here's $10, go to Ravelry and buy whatever you want, or whatever. You can buy them a pattern from Ravelry. And if you are a Ravelry user yourself, you can simply give that pattern to them as a gift. Now, I have received many patterns over the years from friends and family, and I love that. I love when I get that notification that such and such has bought you a pattern, and it's so wonderful, and it's amazing. I have really enjoyed that. So I think that the crafter in your life would love the gift of a knitting or crochet pattern or whatever. That would just be fantastic. Okay, so the next one we have is a project bag. So perhaps you know someone that has way more projects than they do project bags. Guilty. And so having a project bag is absolutely wonderful because it protects your projects basically from the elements. So everything is just nice and snug down here. I have my project inside. There's some really good zippered ones. Also, there's some nice drawstring and snap project bags. The ones with handles are really good. Either you can get them handmade from a place like Etsy, or, perhaps you can find them online as well. And so giving a project bag is just so wonderful. I know for me, when I first started crocheting and knitting a long time ago, I actually used Ziploc bags, and there was nothing wrong with that. But something about having a nice, pretty project bag just makes it so extra special. And yeah, I love it. Each of my projects, immediately as soon as I cast them on, they get assigned a project bag. And so yes, that would be a wonderful gift for someone. Or you might want to buy one for yourself, because let me tell you something, there is nothing wrong with getting yourself a knitting or crochet gift. Just buy it for yourself. Okay, so up next we have, another thing I wanted to say about the project bags is, like, let's just say the crafter in your life has children or pets, or that spouse that for whatever reason always seems to want to touch your projects. Get them a project bag. That way their projects will be safe and sound inside the project bag. Okay, so up next we have enamel pins. So going back to the project bag, a lot of us crafters love to put enamel pins and button pins on our bags. It's just kind of a really nice way to, like, dress it up. And so these are just some example ones that I have. This is a skein of yarn with knitting needles through it. And it's just like a little, oops, I dropped it. It's just like a little pin on the back. And you can just clip it on right there or pin it. And then also you have these button pin ones, and you can just simply pin it on to the project bag. Let me tell you, we crocheters and knitters, we love these. It's just a really nice way to, like, set our project bags apart. And so yeah, love it. That's a really good idea. Just a nice little enamel pin. They don't really cost a whole lot. And also another thing is you can get them customized. So maybe you want to get a customized pin, maybe something that reminds you of them or something like that. This is a really good idea. Okay, let's move on. I really like this one. Stitch markers and progress keepers. Okay, so if you are a crafter like me, or you know someone who is a crafter, we are always losing our stitch markers. I can't tell you how many stitch markers I have found in the car, in between the sofa. It's ridiculous. We can never have enough stitch markers and progress keepers. So there's a lot of different kinds out there. We have the light bulb stitch markers. We have the locking ones. We have the circular ones. So there's a lot of different stitch markers and things like that. So, you know, if you're not quite sure what kind of stitch markers or progress keepers to get, you can simply buy, like, one of the, there's these packs that come, like, you can get like 100 stitch markers, and they'll be assorted. So you'll have like a few that are locking, you'll have some light bulb ones, you'll just kind of have, you know, like different varieties. And so you can't go wrong with that. And another thing too is, progress keepers are amazing, and progress keepers just kind of help us to keep, you know, and keep our rows, and just kind of help us, like, remember where we are in a project. And so I love decorative stitch markers or decorative progress keepers. And when it comes to stitch markers and progress keepers, they're pretty interchangeable, but a lot of times we crafters use progress keepers to kind of, like, help us to see, okay, how much did we do today? Did we get an inch done today? Did we 3 inches done today? And a lot of times stitch markers helps us with our rows, especially like in knitting. You know, you'll have like your beginning stitch marker that helps you remember, hey, we're starting a new row. And so yes, that is wonderful, and it's something that we can never have enough of. And like I said, getting like a little Notion set will have you covered. It's got everything in there that you could possibly want, including needle protectors. Those are in there as well if you have a knitter in your life. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to stop and say here is that we knitters and crocheters, we have our own language, okay? So if you're someone that's watching this and maybe you're not into the craft, you're like, what in the world is a stitch marker and a whip and a what? Like, what are all of these things? I know we have our own language. It's okay. That's why I created a bundle for everyone to take a look at, and it will be in the description box below, just to make it a little bit easier. And yeah, I know that there may be like some unknown terms, and if you are watching this and you are a knitter or crocheter, you're probably laughing right now because you know we have our own language and our own terms. Like we need our own dictionary pretty much. Okay, so moving right along, we have a knitting or crochet book. I love this idea for many, many reasons. Perhaps you may have a friend who is a designer or maybe an upcoming designer, and you can get them a stitch book or a designer book. That would just be wonderful. And a lot of these pages will have like dotted lines or graph lines in these notebooks, or you can get them like a stitch dictionary. That would just be an amazing gift to someone you know that wants to perhaps design patterns. And also, I like pattern books as well. So perhaps your crafter in your life, they might have a favorite crochet designer or knitting designer, and that designer has published their own book. Also, a lot of times yarn companies will publish their own books as well, and perhaps you know your friend or family member may be a fan of that particular yarn company, and so you can buy them a book. And books are really fun. It's really cool. It's something that you can keep and use as a decoration or draw inspiration from or make patterns from that aren't really available online. So it makes it really special. These knitting and crochet books, they're really, really cool. Okay, so the next one I am very excited about because I use this every single day. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I love my yarn bowl. I have heard people say that yarn bowls are not necessary. That's fine. I've heard people say, I never use my yarn bowl. That's fine too. But speaking about myself, this yarn bowl, I use it every single day. It is so special to me. It is handcrafted with walnut and cedar, and it is stamped on the bottom by the maker, and I love it. So, yarn bowls are great for storing yarn while you're working on your project. Now, you don't have to have one that is as fancy as this. There are a lot of places you can buy really nice yarn bowls, and they're wonderful. I like this one because it's a little on the heavier side, so I don't have to worry about like it tipping over or something like that. But yes, I love my yarn bowl, and I always have an active project in my yarn bowl, like always. Okay, so the next one is really, really fun. You can get someone a crochet or knitting t-shirt or just a yarn related t-shirt in general. I love these t-shirts. They are usually very funny. They'll have some sort of really funny saying on them. I just think that these t-shirts are a really good way for the crafter in your life to express their creativity. And yeah, I think that's fun. I think they would look great with like a knitted or crochet cardigan over them. You can just wear them all year round, but definitely knitting, yarn, crochet related t-shirt is just a super awesome gift to have. Okay, so the next one is a crochet or knitted inspired mug. I have one here. I have showed this on the channel before, but this mug was designed by one of my favorite artists, and you'll hear a little bit more about him later. This is by Ken Mitchell. He's local here to North Carolina, and I love this mug. And so it has little sheep on it, and it has different kinds of sheep. It's so beautiful, and there's a lamb on there. I love this mug. It's a really nice mug. And so a lot of us crafters, we love to drink coffee. We love to drink tea, especially while we're working on projects. And so to have like a really nice knit or crochet inspired mug would just be something so wonderful. And it's like every time that crafter in your life drinks from this cup, they're going to think of you. And I think that is just absolutely beautiful. Up next, we have a crafting lamp or light. These are fantastic for the crafters in your life who work with dark color yarn, like blue yarn and black yarn and just really deep dark color yarns. It's fantastic for them. And also perhaps, you or that person may live in a house where there's not a lot of natural light. Maybe it's, later in the afternoon, or some people just prefer to knit and crochet in the afternoons. Maybe that's, the only time that they have. Or perhaps they craft early in the morning before the sun is up. And so having a neck light would be absolutely wonderful. It is something that I definitely use. Okay, moving on. So these next two, they're like a combo. They have to be together. And that is a ball winder and Swift. So these two are truly essential to the yarn lover in your life, because if you don't have the winder, then a lot of times you have to roll it up by hand. And if you don't have a Swift, a lot of times you have to roll that by hand as well. And a lot of times that yarn can get like tangled up. Now, not to say that that happens all the time, but I will say having a nice ball winder and a Swift, it does make things a little bit easier. And so these to me are just essential things to have. But of course, we're creative people. We can make it work with or without these tools. And so it's really, really great. If you're someone that only works from like a cake or a ball of yarn, then perhaps you don't need the Swift. But if you're someone that's working from hanks of yarn, let's see. So of course this is a hank of yarn, and this yarn here would be really good to put on a Swift, because it'll make it a lot easier for you to wind it up. And so of course when you have beautiful yarn like this, you don't want it to get tangled up. And so having a ball winder and Swift combo will really, really help the crafter in your life out. Okay, so I didn't knock it down, because I always knock yarn down when I'm putting things back. Okay, y'all, we are moving on along. All right, so let's move on to scissors. Scissors are important to any crafter, whether they knit, crochet, sew, whatever. Scissors are so important, and there is nothing like a really good pair of crafting scissors. I personally love to use folded scissors. These are really great just because the blade is hidden. And also, if you have a crafter in your life that likes to travel a lot, these types of scissors are TSA compliant. Actually, the ones that I have, it has on the package that it is TSA compliant. So, that's really, really good. But also, you can get some beautiful decorative embroidery scissors as well. They're really nice. They're nice and sharp. They're definitely the ones you keep at home, but they're beautiful. And you think about it, every time that crafter uses those scissors, they'll think of you, and that is awesome. And so it depends on like what type of crafter there are. I like to have a variety of types of scissors. I keep my folded scissors in my project bag, but then like my really nice embroidery scissors, I use them for snipping yarn. And so a lot of times I just keep them in my craft room. And so, we love scissors. We cannot have enough pairs of scissors. Okay, so up next we have blocking mats and blocking needles. Once again, this is a combo that really needs to go together. Now, we'll say that when it comes to blocking our projects, some of us, we use like knitting, or we use T-pins, And T-pins are really, really good for lace work. It really just opens up that lace if if you use a blocking mat and T-pins. But some of us, especially when it comes to garments, we don't always use pins. We just need the blocking mat. But a lot of times these things will come together, or you can buy them separately. It really doesn't matter. But as we crafters know, blocking is very important for a really good fit. Even like this cowl that I have here, I definitely blocked it, and when I did that, it just opened up these stitches so well. And so perhaps the crafter in your life or you yourself would benefit from blocking pins. And since we're talking about what I'm wearing the Haula Cowl, which is designed by Katie Peterson. And it's a crochet cowl, and I crocheted it using some 100% superwash merino wool that I dyed by myself, and the colorway is Monarch. And so yeah, I love it. It's really nice. Anyway, moving on, we have a subscription to their favorite knit or crochet magazine. I love this one. I get knitting and crochet magazines sent to me every month. I have at least 2 subscriptions, and they are amazing. A lot of times there's different yarn ideas in there, and also there's different patterns in there. And like I said, like I was mentioning before with the books, a lot of times in these magazines, they have patterns that are not available online. So it's really like exclusive. And so I love a good knitting or crochet magazine. There's something you can keep for a very long time. You can make copies of them so you don't have to write in the magazine. They're just wonderful to have, and I'm sure the crafter in your life would love a subscription to their favorite knitting or crochet magazine. Okay, so moving on, we have artwork. This one I have been really ready to show you all because I am a huge fan of sheep artwork, yarn artwork, anything that's related to this. So yeah, I'm going to show you all some that I have. And earlier I mentioned Ken McNeil. These were all painted by him as well. And I'm going to leave his link, but there are also like a lot of other painters that, do like yarn related sort of artwork. And so I just love these, and I've been collecting them for quite a long time. And so hopefully you all can see that. Beautiful. I love it. Yes, he is a Shetland. So that's cool. This one is called Flirting. The 2 are flirting. That's so cute. And so a lot of times when I go to Fiberfest, I will see like different prints and things like that. And I just noticed something. Some of these are the ones that I have on my mug. Look at that. That's so nice. I love it. It's wonderful. But a lot of times when you go to Fiberfest, you will see artwork, and everybody has their different style. I like the ones where like the sheep are, they might be wearing crowns or whatever, and I think it's wonderful. But we crafters, we like all sorts of sheep. We like merino. We like goats. We love Angora. We love goats for many, many reasons, especially for the mohair. I believe those come from the Angora goats, but there's also Angora rabbits. And what else do we like? Oh, we like llamas, and we like alpacas. And so any sort of artwork that you can find with that or with those sorts of animals on it, let me tell you, we absolutely love it. Oh, this is a ram. Amazing. This one is called Skittles because of all the different color sheep there. But I love these. Beautiful. So anyway, artwork is wonderful. I've rearranged around in my office, so I need to put these back up. But yeah, so getting artwork is wonderful for the crafter in your life that really appreciates art and really appreciates hand painting and prints and things like that. Yeah, and of course, like I've been saying, every time they look at that artwork, they'll think of you. So that's wonderful. Okay, moving right on along, we have an audiobook subscription. So, a lot of us crafters, we love to listen to audiobooks while we are working. And there's a lot of different audio services out there. The first one that comes to mind is Audible. I use that one. I really enjoy just putting on an audiobook and just crafting away. It's so wonderful. And I think that if you have someone in your life that loves to read, this is perfect for them, or someone that just likes to listen to audiobooks. This would be perfect for them. So a really nice audiobook subscription would be awesome. And another thing, a lot of these subscription services, they offer trials. And so you can try and look at a lot of different ones to see which ones you like. And then, you can purchase a yearly subscription, or, maybe less than a year, but you can purchase a subscription for the crafter in your life so they can enjoy their favorite audiobooks while they are crafting away. Okay, moving on. We have a case for the knitting and crochet needles and hooks. And so I'm just going to show you like a few that I have here. So this is my crochet case. And as you can see, I have embellished it. Oh, one I just thought about that wasn't even on my list are keychains. Look at this keychain that my friend got me. This is a yarn ball. It's a sparkly yarn ball, and it has a little crochet hook coming out of it. So you all are getting bonus gift ideas today. But I'm going to show you all just one side of this. It's pretty much the same on both sides. But this is my crochet hook case. And also, I have a knitting needle case. And here it is. So there's several different kinds. So this one here, this one is an interchangeable set. I should have known that was going to happen. I'm leaving that in there. I'm leaving it in there. This is actually the one that I wanted to show you all. Here it is. So this one has where you can put all of your knitting needles in there. And here they are. They're all wrapped up in there wonderfully. It doesn't have to be by any like particular brand or anything like that. But here is a wonderful knitting needle case. Okay, so per usual, I am making a mess. I am dropping stuff. My table is too small. My table is way too small. All right, so now I want to show you this one. I debated about putting crochet hooks and knitting needles on this list because a lot of times us crafters, we already have our knitting needles. We already have our crochet hooks. However, when it comes to interchangeable sets for knitting needles, those are awesome. And also crochet hook sets are awesome. And a lot of times, like, those things are a bit pricey, especially like you might get like a really nice set of crochet hooks, the really nice ergonomic ones. They can be a bit pricey sometimes. And like a brand like this can definitely be very pricey, and you all have already seen the inside of it. But for the ones that are still left in here, this is an interchangeable knitting needle set. And so these can be quite pricey, and I just feel like the crafter in your life would just be so grateful if you got them a really nice interchangeable knitting needle set, or just a really nice knitting needle set in general, or a really nice crochet hook set. I just think that they would just be so grateful that you went out the way, or that you got something like that for them, because a lot of times with these sets, we use them for many, many years. Like I've had some of these crochet hooks I've had since I was like a preteen. I've had these since I was a child. And this knitting needle set, I've had at least 5 or 6 years. I've had this, if not longer. So, I mean, it's just really wonderful to have. Okay, so I wanted to say that a lot of times with these gifts, really the safest thing to do is just ask them what they want. I know a lot of times, you want to surprise them, and that's wonderful. And perhaps you don't have to tell them exactly what you're getting them, but a lot of times it's really good to ask questions, because I would hate for you to spend all this time and money on a gift that maybe just doesn't suit them. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, for example, you have someone in your life that knits and crochets, but they do not make socks. Like, they are not into socks, but you buy them a sock blocker, Or perhaps you have someone that they can't stand putting pom-poms on hats, but you go and buy them a pom-pom maker. Like, I don't want that to happen to you. So, you can just ask subtle questions and really try to find out what they like. I think that would be a really, really good idea. And so I am going to leave a link to everything that I talked about today in my Amazon bundle. Anything not in my Amazon bundle, I'll leave individual links for that. But I'm going to put everything into that bundle. It's got all of my favorite knitting and crochet tools, and I think that will be really, really helpful for you. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. Whether you are a non-crafter, or maybe you are a knitter or crocheter and you want to buy this for one of your crafty friends, or maybe you're just looking for a gift to buy for yourself, which I think is amazing. And remember, you can buy a gift all year round, anytime. You don't have to wait. Anytime you're feeling it, that you want to give someone something that they will love, just go for it. Just do it. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram. Yeah, I'm pretty active there. So, and another thing too is, as I find more and more gifts that I think would be helpful, I'm going to add them to that bundle. So that bundle will just keep on getting bigger and bigger as I add things. All right, y'all. It was wonderful talking to you lovely folks today. So until next time, bye.